All right, guys, what's going on? It's Wednesday, February 26th, 2025, about 5 minutes until the market closes here at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's the futures markets, right? I know the normal markets close around 4:15, but these are the futures. They're closing in about 5 minutes. We got an hour-long break for most of the markets. Markets like corn, wheat, etc., open a little bit later. But by and large, this is the time of the day when we've got to do our analysis for the upcoming 24 hours. We're getting a lot of people in the Discord who are using this analysis to set up their own trades based off of the directions and the levels that I'm providing. And it's working really well for people. And that's the idea. The idea is not for me to sit here and tell you exactly what to do, because if I do that, you're never going to learn how to trade for yourself. So I love seeing people in the Discord use the analysis to go out and kill it and make money, because yeah, I can share with you guys when I make X amount of dollars in my brokerage account or my funded accounts or whatever. That's cool. But the reason I'm doing this and sharing all this with you guys is because I want you guys to make money. So that's what I love seeing. So awesome to those of you in the Discord who are posting your trades and, sharing the money you're making. I'm so happy to see that. It just pumps me up, makes me motivated. So let's go ahead and get into our analysis. I mean, we've been pretty spot on this week. If you traded in the directions that I've been describing based on the monthly, weekly, daily flows, you've kept yourself out of a lot of trouble. And that's, 90% of the battle in trading is just staying out of the garbage and waiting for clarity to put on your trades and make money. So let's go ahead and get into the analysis. Oh, one more thing. There was a gentleman in my comment section who asked why I call myself a top trader. Like, oh, why do you call yourself a top trader now? It's like, well, because I'm a top prop trader. I'm in the top 1% at least, if not the top 1/10 of 1% in results of prop firm payouts. So when I do these YouTube videos, people scroll through YouTube. They generally don't want to look at a video of some guy who's got no proven track record. So, if I put like, hey, below average trader or, whatever else on my thumbnail, people aren't going to give a shit. But when you say top trader, which I am, then people want to click, they come in, they hang out, and that's how we're growing a cool community. So I just didn't really get that. But apparently this gentleman, he's been trading for 20 years, which is fantastic. And he's got lots and lots of friends who are multimillionaire traders, which is fantastic. I mean, to be honest, this channel is more for people who are, kind of on their journey. They're looking for some help. They're looking for some advice. So if you're already a professional printing money, I mean, more power to you. Just keep printing your money, right? All right. And no, I'm not a part of the 7-figure club yet. I'm getting there, and I hope to be in the mid 7 figures in the next couple of years. That's my goal. And I have no doubt that I'll get there because my analysis works very, very well. I've worked extremely hard on my headspace. I'm a balanced trader. I don't force things. And I know at the rate I'm going now, it's just going to be an ever increasing equity curve to the upside, making more money so I can achieve my goals. But I've worked very, very hard to get here, right? And those of you who want to follow a similar path, you're going to have to work very, very hard as well. All right, so that's just all the cleaning house stuff. I'm working on the course. It's going great. Surfing every day here in Costa Rica. Loving living here. It's incredible. I got to remember that you guys are there in the camera, and I need to focus on you guys there instead of looking all around at my charts and whatever while I'm talking to you there. So I'm going to try and work on that so we connect, we can bond, we can build a relationship. It's going to be a beautiful situation. And then, of course, when I'm doing the analysis on the charts, I've got to take my eyes from the camera down to the charts. And I apologize about the lighting. It is super bright with the sun coming in right now. I had to bring down the shades to block all the light out. So if it makes it a little bit darker for me on the camera, then so be it. What's important is that you can see the screen and that the analysis is good, which it is. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into ES here. Pretty much did what I said it would do today. Choppy. Sorry, this is NQ. ES is going to be the same. Let's go ahead and look at ES. We usually start at the top with ES. Not going to go into a super detailed analysis today because there's really no reason to. You guys have the playbook for the week. The playbook is still in play. Everything I've been talking about, if you've been following video by video by video, then you know exactly where we are and you know exactly how to play this, right? So here's ES. This is pretty much what I expected, a range-bound day. You had some support down here at the yellow dots. Surprise, surprise. Perfect level. I think in the video I said, 59.40 to 59.60, a lot of support on ES, right? And then I said a lot of resistance right up here at where? Well, You guys guessed it. The pink dot, the big green dot, the red line. Look at all that stuff. That's all there before the day starts. That's your resistance zone. I said, keep an eye on that. That is your support zone. I mean, pretty much frame the day, and those levels are there for you guys before the day starts. And I call it out and share that with you. So I don't know. It's not a crystal ball, but it's close, right? And not every day. There are some days where I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on, and I just ignore it. But when we got good structure and good levels, the formulas are very, very accurate, which is awesome. So what do I expect for tomorrow? That's the important thing, right? What we've called out here in the past, that doesn't matter. What always matters is what have you done for me lately? So what do we expect for Thursday? Since now all these dots and lines here, they're all locked, loaded, ready to go. Those are the levels. So how do we use those levels? This is what I'm going to teach you guys in the course, so you know how to use different levels in different situations based on the type of trading we're in, the monthly, the weekly, the daily chart. What are the patterns we're looking at? You're going to learn all this kind of stuff, and you see how the market ebbs and flows in a very logical way using the indicators and the system that I've developed. Is it a holy grail? No, there's no such thing. Does it give you really good probabilities when you use it correctly? Absolutely, it does. And that's all we can ask for in trading. All right. So when this market closes here, we have to ask ourselves, is the daily going for congestion entrance up? Right? Are we going to get a close above the middle of the moving average envelope here and try and push higher? Or are we going to flush lower? To be honest, right now with where we're at, that's really, really hard to say. We're kind of closing in the middle of the range today, right? So I had a better read the last few days based on this price action today. I don't really have a fantastic read for tomorrow. So what I would say, if I was going to be trading ES, which I'm not, I probably just would say, you know what, I'm taking the day off. I'm not going to trade ES because there's probably better markets out there with more clarity, better price structure. Okay. And so when I'm not clear on a market, I don't want to say, well, I'm not clear, but maybe do this. It's like, no, don't maybe do anything because I'm not clear on the structure. We're going to learn a lot tomorrow, based on what happens. And then that'll set up the structure for the coming days. I would say, generally speaking, though, this market looks like it wants to stay under pressure heading into the end of the week. So I would probably continue to look at my resistance levels here on these dots right here. This is called the daily congestion resistance zone, right around 60.20 to 60.40. That's where all the dots are, right there. So, that's an area I'd be looking at to maybe get short if the intraday system that I'm using showed me that the price action was stalling out there. If we went up there and tested those levels and stalled out, could be a good spot to look for a short. But again, it's also not super clear, so probably stay away from ES is what I'm going to go ahead and say. Because again, knowing when to stay out of certain markets is 90% of the trading game. The other 10% is probably 9% psychological and 1% execution. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. It's something like that. People make it a lot more difficult than it has to be by over trading and, trading on days when they shouldn't trade. So this analysis is designed to help you stay more disciplined and only trade on days, when the structure is clear. So here, same thing for the NASDAQ. It's the same as the ES. I don't need to repeat myself here. I'd be very careful. I expect a lot of volatility, a lot of chop, a lot of false breakouts. I don't know what the NASDAQ's going to do tomorrow. I've been very clear up to this point this week and not tomorrow. I don't know. Let's just wait and see. I mean, because look, we're hanging out down here right now on the NASDAQ. This is an inside bar. These are dangerous when you get these inside bars, right? You really don't know which way it's going to go. And it doesn't matter what, all the people out there on YouTube say, like, I know the NASDAQ's going to do this or that. No, we never know, right? We can just use our system to put the odds in our favor when we have clarity. But in this situation, I really don't know. The NASDAQ could pick that up and bomb lower, right? It really could. And if it starts to break through these lows, you'd probably have some pretty good confirmation that we're, heading a lot lower. But it also could just pick these up and, pump up like this for Thursday's close, shake out a lot of these, weak shorts and then set up a reversal back down like that for Friday. You see this kind of a situation a lot, right? So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Thursday to tell me, what I'm expecting for Friday. But I wouldn't be taking a lot of risk on ES or NQ tomorrow because from my perspective, it doesn't look clear. So that's really, that's all I can give you guys with that for now. So let's look at the Dow. And I didn't even look at the Dow today, even though yesterday it was one of my top picks. I said, hey, look, I expected a lot of support. Oh, look at that. My goodness. Guys, go back to yesterday's video, please, please, please. And just look at what I was saying about the Dow. These dots, remember when this closed yesterday, these dots were right here. They were already there. And I said it was one of my top picks for looking to go short, right up in that resistance level. And I even think before this bar happened today on the Dow, go watch yesterday's video. I drew out the bar and it looked something like this. It was pretty darn close. So that was cool to see. Wow, I love seeing that kind of stuff. I can't wait to get back to my own trading after I'm done with this course and everything. So look, but I'm enjoying the time off, guys. Like I'm doing the course, I'm setting everything up, I'm surfing, I'm hanging out a lot more with my family than I usually do because I'm usually watching these screens 24 hours a day. So I'm really enjoying the downtime. It's sometimes you got to force yourself to take a step back, relax, and just, you know, be able to chill out for a little bit. So I'm enjoying that. All right, so the Dow right here, what do I expect for tomorrow? I mean, it looks pretty darn weak, to be honest. So I would look for continued resistance, probably at the dot zone here. 43.6, you know, for a push lower. I mean, that's just what I'd be looking for on the Dow. But again, do I have the same kind of confidence in today's pick as I did yesterday? No, because this could bomb out. It could push higher. I'm not as sure. Yesterday I had a much better read. So right now, ES, NQ, Dow, are any of them like my top picks for tomorrow? No, they're not. Let's go ahead and look at the Russell. All right, so you see, guys, how we use this analysis across the major futures markets every single day to find the different markets that are kind of poking their heads up going, hey, look at me, right? It was natural gas one day. It was crude oil one day. It was like Dow yesterday and gold yesterday as well. I think I called. I have no idea what happened with gold today, but we'll find out how close I was with my analysis yesterday when we get to the gold chart. But that's the way we cycle through and find the best opportunities for each 24-hour period. Super important, right? All right, so here's the Russell, kind of same thing. Don't really know what to expect. If I had to bet, I would say probably a lot of resistance in here and a push down, but it's not a market I'd bet on. So, guys, tomorrow, indices, I would not trade them. Stay away from them. Let them work out what they need to do, and then let them give the next clear sign of where we're going from here. Yeah, let the market come to you. That's the key. All right. So, oh yeah, and to my buddy who says maybe I shouldn't call myself a top prop trader, I hear you, buddy, but I mean, please go find me another YouTube channel. Send me the link of somebody doing analysis like this, and having it be pretty darn, you know, decent. Because if there's more out there that's like calling this kind of stuff before it happens, I'd like to see it. All I see is a lot of, you know, bull flags and bear flags and stuff like that. All right, let's look at this is the 10-year. We're rolling over. I'm just going to pause it while we load the new data here. All right, we're in the June contract now, apparently, for the bonds. So that's MZNM. That's the 10-year Treasury note. Yeah, I mean, look, it hasn't been my favorite pick any of these days, but in terms of where we've been headed, right? Remember, I said we're probably going to gun for that weekly pink dot right there. That's the extension resistance level. Key. It's there before the week starts. And you could see how powerful this daily move has been. And recall, yesterday, even though we had that pink dot there holding, right, which you would think, oh, maybe that's resistance. And even though we had a nice little flash pattern, which sometimes can be like a really good exhaust or a reversal pattern, you remember what I said. No. We're in no man's land. You don't want to take that particular pattern when the daily is firing up like that and you're in no man's land and you're probably pushing higher. It's a false, sell signal. So you don't take that. So this is where you start to learn how to take the right patterns at the right levels, and it increases your odds, pretty darn good. So, I mean, I'm just thrilled with the first week back doing these daily analysis videos for you guys on a consistent basis. And now you can, we're starting to build the archive. So you can go back now and look at these every day and see exactly what I said I thought was going to happen and why. And then see the next day what happened. And, are we pretty close most of the time? Yeah. And are there going to be weeks, where we make bad calls? Of course. But generally speaking, it's either clear and we have a good read, or it's not clear and I just say, I don't know what's going to happen. And that's as good as a good read, right? So the indices for tomorrow, I'm not clear. So it's very, that's as good as, hey, look, here's a great trade over here. If we can look at a whole group of markets like the indices for tomorrow and say, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, if you don't lose money on that day, that's fantastic, because anytime you lose money, your equity goes down. You got to remake that money and then some to get to new equity highs, right? It's not so easy. Well, some people it is. The guy in my comment section who's been doing it for 20 years and all of his buddies who are millionaires. For those guys, it's easy. For us, it's not. We're just kind of, regular old folks doing our thing here. All right. So, with this exhaust here, pink dot, same thing. This is the 30-year, still looking very strong. I wouldn't short this market. What would be cool is if you got, just like on the indices, I don't know what's going to happen. On bonds, I don't know what's going to happen. But if you did get some kind of a attempted correction that would set up maybe the final leg higher. So it would be the inverse of what we're maybe looking for on the indices, although I have no idea what's going to happen. None whatsoever. Bonds could just keep going. The indices could just keep going south. So I'm not trading bonds. Well, I'm not trading anything right now because I'm doing the course, but you guys know what I mean. If I was trading, I really wouldn't take anything tomorrow in indices or bonds. We don't even need to look at the ultra bond. It's going to be the same thing as the 10-year and the 30-year. Let's go ahead and look at gold. Let's see how close the analysis was. I have no idea. I haven't looked at gold all day. Just been hanging out with the fam, recording the course, surfing a little bit. It's been awesome. Been a really, really good day. Really good week. All right, let's let the gold chart load here. We're loading. We're hanging out. And I will pause it. Some markets load really fast, and then other markets just don't really, load at all. They take forever. All right, here's gold. Well, look, guys. I mean, go back and look at the video. I said I expected there to be quite a lot of support right here. I think I said 29.20 right down in here, right? Okay, I apologize, especially to my buddy, my millionaire trader buddy. I apologize. I didn't nail the exact low of the day, but our support zone was pretty darn good, right? So if you're just looking for setups to go long off that support zone, you did pretty darn well today. Just like if you're looking for setups to go short into our Dow resistance level, you did pretty darn well today. And those were the two top picks, and they were great, right? So what do I expect for gold tomorrow? Kind of hard to say, but I would have to say it's not a top pick, but I still feel pretty comfortable in this 29.20 support level. I'd be looking at these two dots very carefully right there. That would be a good spot to watch the intraday price action to see if it got tested, if the market looked like there were buyers coming in there. That could be a good spot. Sorry, I got to get my black drawing tool to maybe have the daily push back up like that, because the daily to me looks like it's in congestion. All it did here with this big move to the downside that one day, that was our congestion support level on the daily. That's our congestion resistance level, right? All it did was expand the daily congestion support level down to here. But you have to ask yourself, do you think we're breaking out into a new trend run to the downside on the daily? I mean, I really don't. We could, it's possible, but there's still a lot of support here. So I think the daily still wants to cycle a little bit more in congestion on gold. And if that's going to be the case, I'd be looking for us to head back up to the envelope top, because when we're in congestion, as you can see very clearly, price likes to cycle in between the envelope. Sometimes it'll break like that, but then it'll head back up like that. That's what I'd be looking for. Is it something, am I as confident in this as I was yesterday with gold? No, but it's a better read than indices or bonds. So I'll say that much. So that's pretty interesting. All right, let's look at silver. Pause while it loads. Whistle while we work. All right, here's the silver chart. And by the way, to that guy who made that comment, I hold no beef toward you, bro. You didn't get under my skin at all. I'm just kind of like letting you know, where I'm at with the whole situation. And I think it's important, to have an honest conversation about these things. And by the way, prop firms, the rules for prop firms, they're pretty darn tough. To pass a top step eval, You get 4,500 bucks in risk, you got to make $9,000. That's 200%. That's not easy. And then you go to the funded stage, and then once you go to the funded stage, you get a $4,500 draw. You got to try your best to make some money, and then you got to have consistency with the $200 days. And then once you take payouts, you can only get 50%. There's a lot that goes into getting these payouts from the prop firm. So I don't really think it's something to like, kind of whatever that expression is, like, oh, oh, like it's not easy. So I'm proud of my accomplishment, and I think it's okay to be proud of my accomplishment. But anyways, I just wanted to get that off my chest, and I hope you're good with that. All right, let's see, silver here. What do we? Yeah, so silver, you recall I said the same thing. There was a flash pattern, some support here. I said I didn't like it as much as gold for some obvious reasons, but it held. It was fine. No big deal. What do I expect for silver tomorrow? I really don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, gold is at least a safe haven asset, which is why, if we're not in a full-blown liquidity crisis right now because the dollar is not really catching a bid, even though bonds are being bid and the market's dropping, the dollar's not really catching a major bid unless it did today. We'll check. So in that case, if it's a full-blown liquidity crisis, margin call, everybody's selling everything, then even in that environment, you don't want to buy gold because it's going to go down. But in this environment, I think where there's a little bit of fear in the market, but not a crazy amount, when gold pulls back like that, it's a good buy. That's why I think gold is going to stay in congestion action the way I just outlined. Silver is more prone to kind of following if there's fear, silver will follow the fear, because even though it is a precious metal and I love silver, it just doesn't have the same kind of respect that gold has, right? Anyway, so I wouldn't do anything for silver tomorrow. Let's look at copper. While this is finishing loading, guys, I got a really good new title for you. I took in all your recommendations from Discord. I think you're going to like the thumbnail. All right, guys, if we can't have fun here, then what are we doing? We got to enjoy life. As they say in Costa Rica, pura vida, the pure life. You got to enjoy it. All right, so here's copper. So we had that gap up yesterday, I guess. I don't know. I don't trade copper often. I will sometimes. But, look, go back to the beginning of the week. I kind of said I expected some resistance up here. That was where the resistance was. I didn't capitalize on this. I didn't recommend this because copper, it's got to be a damn good pattern for me to want to trade copper. So, looking here, it's going to be more of a mess with copper under pressure as risk assets are under pressure. So not a top pick at all. So far, guys, summarizing, tomorrow, be careful. Probably not a good day to take a lot of risk, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. Gold looks okay if you watch that support level that I mentioned. Other than that, I'm not seeing a whole lot for tomorrow. And that's really the best I can give you. And I hope that even helps. Let's go ahead and look at platinum. So platinum, yeah, I think, go back and look at yesterday's video. Pretty sweet. I called out. You see, whenever you see these dots stacked on top of each other very closely like that, the cyan dot, the pink dot, the envelope top, I think I said yesterday in platinum, I was like, I don't really know, but that's a pretty good resistance level. If you trade platinum and you want to watch that level, keep an eye on it. And boom, pretty cool. All right, heading into tomorrow, I don't know, but you're trending down. You had an attempted congestion entrance up move. It failed. You closed back down here. There's probably going to be a lot of resistance on platinum right in there, the yellow dot, the dot zone. Maybe maximum there, but I would say here, probably looking for something like this, at least in platinum, if not more. So I'm not going to trade platinum. It's not like a crazy, oh my God, I would take this pick. I'm just kind of sharing with you what I see. On the days when I see awesome picks, I tell you, I say, hey guys, crude oil, I like that trade today. Or even corn. I was like, I like corn, but it was wrong. But I still, managed that trade well. It was a good example on how to manage losers. Let's look at crude oil. All right, guys, looking at crude here. That looks pretty darn weak. It's not like, look, I don't know what's going to happen with crude. It may find some support down here. It may not. I'm not really sure. So I would treat it like the indices. I really don't know. But it looks like crude's under a lot of pressure right now. And we've been pretty right about it from the beginning of the week. All right, so I'm not even going to look at RBOB or heating oil. We can take a quick look at natural gas. The reason is, guys, like right now I can already tell that tomorrow's just a day where I wouldn't trade. So I'm just giving it to you straight and saying, hey, look, you don't have to trade every day. And look, maybe tomorrow is going to be a banger day. For those of you who like to day trade and just see what the market's doing and you don't need to come in with a game plan, that's fine. There are some good traders who can do that, and I totally respect that. But the majority of us, me included, I love to go into the day with a game plan, and I love to just have my top picks because they're usually pretty darn good, and then trade my intraday charts into those levels, trade with the direction of the higher time period charts, the daily, the weekly, stacks the odds in my favor. That's how I've made a lot of money with prop firms and on my own account. And that's how you get consistent, right? But there are some people who can just sit there and, oh, the market's doing this today, and they take advantage. And that's great. So if you're one of those people, then by all means trade tomorrow. But if you like to kind of have a game plan, then I think the game plan for tomorrow is just, don't force anything, because it just looks like the market's going to figure out where it wants to go. I mean, equities look like they need to figure out if they want to go lower or give us a little bit of a bounce before going lower. Bonds need to figure out if they're going to keep squeezing higher, or if they want to correct a little, then keep squeezing higher, right? The metals aren't really that clear, except gold. I do expect support there. That's the one that, like, if I was day trading, put it this way, when I start running the live day trading room, gold would be my market right now so far to look at. And I would just chill out and be like, look, if there's no trades in gold tomorrow, no worries. But I'm going to watch that, whatever that level I said was that 20, wherever we're at, 28, 20, or whatever that was. It was 20 to 40, that level. That's the level I would just watch. And if I got a good pattern on my intraday charts, like, okay, that's worth a buy right there on gold, because I can see some potential for gold cycling back up to the envelope top, which is a pretty good distance away. Could catch a nice little runner there. So that's what I would be watching. But guys, I'm not a seven-figure, multi seven-figure trader yet. So, take what I say with a grain of salt for sure. I'm never going to let that go. I got to have fun with it, guys. I got to have fun with it. Otherwise, it just gets a little too tedious and boring. All right, let's let natural. You guys can see how long these energy charts take to load. I know why. It's my formulas. They're a little bit different on different markets depending on. It's a lot of stuff that goes into these little dots and lines and that kind of stuff. So it's retrieving a lot of information here, and that's why it takes time to load these charts. But hey, if it takes a few minutes of our lives every day to wait for the charts loading, that's not that bad, because we can make money, which is great. And guys, I know I should be looking at you all the time right there when I'm doing it. I'm working on it at the camera. But I'm like, while I'm kind of blabbing here to you guys there in the camera, I'm looking at the charts, like processing, thinking about things. So, but I'll get better at the eye contact. All right. Hope the volume's good. I think I already said that, but hey, doesn't hurt to repeat it. All right. So natural gas, pretty much said that, right? Resistance. I said it wasn't like a top pick or anything, but the daily punch back up here, there should be a lot of resistance here. And I think I said, look at these dots here. We didn't quite get there, but, close, good level. Probably nat gas is going to continue to be under pressure, but it's nothing I'm crazy about. That was the pop to short if you're a natural gas trader. All right, let's just quickly look at the euro. We're not going to look at all the currency pairs. We will, guys. Once I'm done with the course and all that kind of stuff, I will look at all these markets in even way more detail than this every single day, because then I'm going to be trading as well. But right now, by the time I get to this part of the day here in Costa Rica, it's like, in the afternoon now. It's late, like 3, 4 in the afternoon. I've been working on the course all day. I've been surfing. I've been in the sun. Like, I'm just tired, and I want to share. I want to give everything I got in the tank to you guys, share what I've got to help you for your trading day tomorrow. And then I just want to get out with my family to the beach and watch the sunset and, have a beer, relax, hang out, maybe do a video for you guys out there, just kind of checking in, saying hi, like I did last night, I think. Show you the sunset. It's beautiful, man. So, but, look, I'm leaving it all in the field here for you guys, giving you everything I got. I just don't want to go through all the currencies right now. I want to look at the euro because I want to see, okay, the dollar did catch a bid today. So with the dollar catching a little bit of a bid, maybe that's, especially with bonds catching a bid, maybe there's more fear in the market. I still don't see like a huge, it's not like a margin call liquidity thing yet, where all markets go straight down at the same time. We're not there right now. That's why I think gold is still a pretty good support level. Anyways, we'll see what happens with the dollar tomorrow. No real trade there. All right, let's just quickly look at like corn wheat, soybeans, and Bitcoin. I'm not looking at the oil, the meal, or the meats today because I am willing to bet none of you, look, once our audience is like 1,000 people, there might be a few meat traders in there, right? So that's good. I don't want to leave those guys hanging. I'll cover it. Or a few soybean meal traders. But right now, I can pretty much guarantee you with all 420 of us or whatever on my channel, on our cozy little channel here, I bet you nobody's trading soybean meal or soybean oil tomorrow, or cattle or hogs. if you are, put it in the comment section, and I swear to God, I will cover it for you tomorrow. Okay? Even though I'm tired. All right, here's corn. Yeah, broke through that key level at the beginning of the week, and now we continue to look like we're going to be under pressure. So I wouldn't be surprised to see corn keep dropping. Wheat is going to be the same. Let's not even look at that. Let's finish with Bitcoin. And guys, I hope you find this analysis super helpful. If you do, leave a comment, share the video, do what you can to help support the channel and help it grow. And the only reason I want it to grow is because I want to save people. I'm like a battered trader saver from the Furus, right? There's so many battered traders who have been led astray by the Furus. And if they get introduced to a good channel with authentic content and indicators and strategies and stuff that work, we're saving the battered traders. That's why I would like you to share, like, subscribe, do what you can, leave comments, this and that. Even if your comment means, why do I call myself a top trader? I still appreciate the comment. The interaction is good for the channel, and I appreciate it. So let's let Bitcoin load here. We'll finish off with Bitcoin, and then we will call it a day, my friends. And if you haven't joined the Discord, it's in the link in the description box below the video. The link is there to join the Discord. I think we're rapidly approaching 100 people, which is pretty good for a YouTube channel with 400 subscribers and no outside marketing, no nothing. I don't put any time into marketing. I don't put any time into my thumbnails. Obviously, as you can see, I have fun with them sometimes and put myself with a surfboard and put a smiley face, but I'm a trader. That's how I make my living. I'm developing my course right now. I don't have to have time to be a professional marketer, even though I do have a Master of Science in digital marketing from Arizona State University. I don't like marketing. I think marketing is, kind of bullshit, because anything that's authentic will sell itself. You don't even need marketing. That's how I feel. So it's like organic grassroots, sharing stuff. That's what helps it grow. And we save the battered traders from the Furus. All right, guys, here's Bitcoin. Wow, just taking a beating. Pretty good drop, 112,000-ish down to 80,000. Probably going to gun for that monthly pink dot there. You got a lot of support there on the quarterly at 80,000. I mean, I'll be shocked if we don't get to at least 80,000 here with Bitcoin. So it looks like rallies should absolutely be sold here with Bitcoin for sure. No question about it. All right, you guys. So I think you've got all the analysis you need. If you want to ask me questions, about setups you're looking at, because, oh, Andy, what about this? Go into the Discord and then put it in the question section. Other people will answer. I'll answer when I can. And you get a lot of personal attention there. It's a good way for us to interact and share our trade ideas and all that kind of stuff. All right, you guys, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate all the support. And let's just keep riding the wave. All right. Cheers, everybody. Bye.